still be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready.
Hey cuties, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna create a really cute family. As always, you can find links to all of the CC in the description down below, and of course this family is also available on the gallery. You can either use hashtag TheSimPanions or my gallery ID, which is also TheSimPanions, to find them. My gallery ID is always in the description down below if you're looking for it, but without further ado, let's get straight into this. So, you know, I knew that for this holiday season I wanted to do a holiday or Christmassy themed create a sim video, which is why we're here today. Hello. And I just knew that, you know, I'm gonna do a Christmas lookbook. That was clear to me, but I also wanted to do a create a sim video, and I didn't know what to do at first. And then I just kind of thought what popped in my head, like what do I associate with Christmas? And honestly, my main association with Christmas is family. My family is really important to me, as to a lot of people, I'm sure, and it's just the nicest thing now that I'm a grown-up. I feel like obviously when I was a child the presents were like huge, and nowadays I think my main priority or thing that I'm looking forward to around the Christmas time is spending time with my family, getting to see everyone getting together, being in a really cozily like decorated room with a lot of nice food. Food is definitely up there as well, you know, family then food. Those are like my two priorities when it comes to Christmas. I also really love giving gifts. It's just something that I really enjoy, especially when I have like a good idea for someone. Like if I think of a gift, I'm like, I think this person's really gonna love it. It's just, it excites me so much. I'm just so happy about it. And that's why I, you know, had to do a family create a sim video, because nothing shouts Christmas, to me at least, more than family. And I also don't do family create a sim videos half as much as I would like to. They just take a long time, okay? They just take forever, and I don't often have the time to do this, so that's why I don't do them as much as I would like to. But here we are. I think this family turned out absolutely adorable. This first sim here, her name is Tori, is gonna end up looking so cute. I adore her so much. I had like a vision, okay? A vision in my head of what I wanted her to look like, and it was really hard to do it in The Sims. That's why like halfway through, now that I give her the hair, I kind of realized that something wasn't how I wanted it. So I went back, changed the eyes again. I was looking for different eye replacements that I used because I didn't know which one I wanted. I wanted her to have very dark eyes, but the default eyes I usually use are very light, like they don't come in a very dark brown color. So I ended up changing them, giving her a little bit of like an eye sparkle detail in the tattoo section, and it was just, I fiddled around with this sim for such a long time that I was just pooped after, okay? I was like so over it after I created her, but I think she turned out gorgeous. Like I'm happy that I stuck to it because I think she is so cute. And the reason this video is called A Christmas Miracle is because I thought not only did Tori meet her fiance Nash, who we're going to create after, you know, after creating Tori, I think that she is like a very businessy lady, and I think that during one of her business Christmas what are they called? Parties? Yeah, Christmas parties. I think she met Nash because he was in the band who played at that Christmas party, because he is a musician, you know, his main focus in life has always been music until he met Tori and had his child, of course. I think they didn't just meet around Christmas, I think they also have been unsuccessfully trying for a baby for a very long time until they finally had Bobbie, who is their toddler, who is the cutest little thing ever. And I think that they found out that Tori is pregnant around Christmas time, so you know Christmas holds like a very special place in this family's heart, and I just adore all of them. Once we're gonna move into Nash, like, ooh, he is a cutie. Like, he is such a cute sim. I lost my mind a few times while it's creating him, I'm not gonna lie. He is so cute. I'm usually very bad at creating male sims, and it takes me forever to get them to where I like, but I think Nash is just so freaking cute, and it kind of all worked out, you know. I didn't really fiddle around too much. I didn't have to like redo a lot of things like I usually do because I'm not happy with certain parts. It just all came very naturally, you know. He just he wanted to exist. Nash is a sim who wanted to exist the way he exists. And we have been blessed with him, honestly. And you know, maybe like in some of my creators and videos, if you've watched them before, I do little clips at the end of just them posing and like, you know, just a little video clip of that. And I almost lost my mind whilst I did it because they are just so freaking cute. I could not. Okay. I kind of lost my mind over them. I think they're adorable, but that's all I have to say about The Sims. I struggled with the first sim. It took me almost 2 hours, honestly, to create the first sim. It was a nightmare, a bit of a nightmare, but I'm very happy with how she came out. And then the second 2 sims were just toddlers. I like super easy. I always make sure if I have sims that have a baby that I look at the teenager and young adult version first to know that the baby comes out cute, and then I age them back down to a toddler. It just has to happen, and that's what we did. You're gonna see that later on in the video that I went in and played with the genetics and then looked at her as a teenager, but we are definitely gonna age her down to a toddler again. My brain honestly is a little bit scrambled. I have been baking a lot yesterday. There's some family members in my family who I never know what to gift to, and when you ask them, they never give you an answer, or they're just like, I don't know, or I'll think about it, and then they never get back to you, which is super frustrating. So I always bake them some Christmas cookies. Here in Germany we call them Plätzchen, and they're like a thing. Okay, like most families bake their own Christmas cookies around Christmas time, and I don't do decorated ones. I know as a child we used to like decorate them really fancy, and well, not fancy, they didn't look fancy at all when I was a child, but you know, we had like different colored icing and different like weird little topping things that you threw on top, like little Christmas trees or whatever, and they're all in like Christmassy shapes as well. I forgot to say that. You get like cookie cutters that are all different shapes, like stars and whatever, but I always just do a grown-up version of them now because icing them is a nightmare. I don't do that, and I feel like most people don't actually like the ones that just have icing on them. I do like some with jam in them, some with chocolate, you know, stuff like that. Mature cookies. I have advanced. I have matured in my cookie making abilities, so you know, those 2 family members of mine always just get a box of cookies for Christmas, which they haven't complained about, so I will continue doing that until they complain or tell me what they want for Christmas, because they're both like men, one a middle-aged man and one like an older man, and I think it's just so hard. They're always the hardest to give presents to for me, and I bet if you go back to my previous Christmas videos from the last few years, I bet I have talked about this a million times, because every Christmas I'm like, what do you even give to middle-aged men? Like, I don't know. I have no clue what to give to them. I mean, one of them is my uncle, and he's never home. He's like always away for work, so you can't really get him anything for at home. Also, he has everything he needs or wants in life, I feel like, and I asked him what he wants for Christmas a few times and he didn't say anything. In the past, I have also just like done donations to certain organizations and like just gave him that as a gift, which I thought was really nice. Like, if I had a lot of money, I would really love if my family members did that. Like, I would really like it, and he liked it too, because I don't know if I've even talked about this much in videos, but when I was 15, my dad passed away, and he was like the greatest guy ever, and he always asked for like world peace for Christmas, and my uncle kind of like adapted to that. So a few Christmases after that, I would always give him like kind of like printout of the donation that I have done, and went like a tiny bit of like world peace, you know, and gave that to him, which was, I think, a cute idea. But Christmas cookies are also a cute, it's all a good idea, okay? Not to toot my own horn, but that's why I did it, because my dad wanted it for Christmas for like half of his life. So when my uncle said he wants it now that my dad had passed, I just thought it was like a really nice kind of thing to do and include my dad in like the Christmas festives. It just felt right. But nowadays we do cookies, and if you have any middle-aged men in your family and you also struggle to give them gifts, let me know what you thought of in previous years, because it's just hard. I I don't know. I don't know if it's also just harder because I myself am a woman and I know more what, for example, my mom or my sister would like for Christmas. Even though we are not like very stereotypical girls, like I don't really get them anything that's stereotypically girly. I think in my family, I'm like, me and my grandma are probably the only ones who are a little bit stereotypical girly apart from everyone else. So it's not even that, you know, so I'm not giving them presents that are like very feminine. It's just easier for me because maybe I know them better as well. I guess I know my mom and my sister better than a lot of like the male or other family members because I see them a lot. And my sister though is very hard. Like I love how this has just turned into me debating what good presents are. I have all of my presents, okay? For once actually in my life have I gotten all of the Christmas presents before, like literally a few days before Christmas. Usually I do like a last shop where I'm like, I just need to get presents. I have gotten a few and I don't know what everyone else wants, so I'm just gonna go to a few different shops and like see what inspires me. And I haven't done this Christmas and I'm proud of it. You know, I've been a little bit more organized this Christmas, which I don't understand where it came from because I was not in my best shape mentally. So who knows what happened there. I also just thought of it now that we were talking about mental shape. I have talked about the clinic a few times, like a few months ago, that my psychiatrist said I should like go to this clinic where you go daily, not on the weekends. You sleep at home, you know, it's just like during the day. It's kind of like a work day, but you go to the clinic and like do different things to help you feel better. And I went to one that is like near me that he said I should go to, and it was honestly one of the worst. I haven't talked about it yet. Like I wanted to, but I just kind of slipped my mind. And it was honestly one of the worst talks I've ever had about my mental illness. I was just like, if this would be my first kind of experience with, you know, psychiatrists or whatever, I would be terrified and I would never go again. It was just so cold. I sat with like the head doctor from the clinic and some social worker, and they were both so cold. They barely looked at me. They just asked questions and I replied, and I felt like he didn't really listen to me either, because I was like telling him how deep I am in my depression, or I was in that current phase. I was like, I can't do anything right now. You know, I can't properly take care of myself. I don't shower enough. I don't eat enough, you know, all that sort of stuff that most of you who, you know, have experienced phases like that probably know of. And I told him that, and afterwards he was kind of like, yeah, I think you're in too good of a shape. And I was like, are you serious? Like, I literally just told you my struggles and you kind of just brush it over, because I have this thing where, like, because of my social anxiety, I would never leave the house with like greasy hair. I would never leave the house without wearing a little bit of makeup or being dressed nicely. You know, it's just part of my social anxiety. I want to avoid people looking at me, but then it kind of, I feel like people don't take my problems as seriously because I go there and I look put together. But he was just, I don't know, everything he said was so contradicting as well. He was like, yeah, I think your problems are like too deeply rooted and you should go to therapy. And I'm like, yeah, I tried, and it's like super hard to get appointments here. And then he was like, and then on the other hand, I think you're gonna be in too well of a shape. He was like, most people that come here haven't been to work in years, or have never worked, or haven't left the house in a few years. And I was just like, so you're telling me I'm too well to come here but too unwell to come here? Like, I didn't know what he was getting at, and he was just very cold how he said it. And it was so weird because he was like, yeah, look, I'm sure you're nice, we would get on, but I don't think this would help you. And I was just like, this is such a weird talk. I felt so uncomfortable. It was also over within like 5 or 10 minutes. Like, he barely talked about me to me about like any of my issues, and I honestly just bawled my eyes out after getting out of there. Like, I didn't even feel comfortable enough to cry in that room. Like, it was awful. And I hope that none of you ever, you know, get put into a talk like that about your mental health, which is something that where you make yourself very vulnerable. And then if people are this cold who should know better, it just sucks. And like, I'm so glad that that wasn't like my first kind of experience with that sort of thing, because I would never go back. And I assure you, not everyone is like that. You know, I've had so many talks to different kind of like therapists and psychiatrists and doctors, and they were all very warm and nice. And that was like the only really bad experience I had, where I felt super uncomfortable and not taken seriously. But then last week I went to a place that helps people with like mental illnesses to get into like the healthcare system, because it can be very hard here to get appointments and stuff. And the person I talked to there, he got me an appointment at a different clinic, and he said, I think it's a really good fit. And it was just very nice. So hopefully at that clinic, it's going to be a bit easier for me to talk to the people and like open up about things. And I hope that they will be able to do something. Fingers crossed. I will hopefully remember to keep you updated if you're interested in it. I mean, I just talk about my life, you know, that's what we do. I talk about my life. If you've listened until like 15 minutes into this video, I'm sure you're one of the people who like keep up with these things. But yeah, that was like my experience with that clinic. Wasn't great. Wouldn't recommend that specific clinic. They were very cold and mean. But anyway, this video is coming to an end. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you want me to do more family create a sim videos in the future. And with that said, hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you all next time. Bye!
I am sitting here sinking, drink after drink, as I do this time of the year. My stupid heart so easily strays. I thought I was trying to forget you. I must have